All right, it appears that I am live. Hey everybody, good to see you. John Lavinia here for another poolside chat. I haven't done one of these in a little bit. We've had some weird wind going on here in Phoenix. And we even saw a cloud yesterday. I think it made the news. But I am glad to be here with you. I do see a couple people joining me here live. I had this idea for this video that I wanted to share with you. Hey Farouk. Farouk is here. Man, Farouk, you keep showing up on my live videos. Good to see you, brother. But I had this idea for something that I thought I would share, which just hit me today while I was in the gym, of course, which is where I get most of my ideas. And I was thinking about some of the stuff that's been going on in my life and things that have like, let me put it this way, a sure way to stop barking up the wrong tree. And if you see the title of this talk right now, it's called Stop and Look. I want to tell you a story because everybody likes stories. Hey, I see Billy. Hey, Billy. Good to see you, man. Hey, Robert. Robert's here. So I want to tell you a story. So this is going back to the 1900s, okay? So this is 1980, I don't know, early to mid-80s. I'm a teenager at that point. Yeah, I'm a teenager, and I'm working as lawn maintenance, like landscaping, running lawnmowers, right? That's what I was doing to make money. Right around the time where I was legally able to work, right? I think in New Jersey, you had to be like 14 or something like that to work. Anyway, I was 14 in 1984. So it was somewhere around 1984. Hey, Elizabeth, good to see you. And so I went to this guy's house where we were going to go get the truck and get the lawnmowers and get out to do the day's work. We got all the jobs we got to do. And this car wouldn't start. Now, keeping in mind, this is the 80s, right? So the car was an old junker at that time. So we're probably talking about something like, picture in your mind a white 1977 Buick station wagon, right? So you got that in your mind, okay? Not quite as upscale as like the Brady Bunch mobile with the wood, okay? But the white Buick station wagon. And we couldn't get this thing to start. And so me and this other guy, we opened the hood. We're looking at, like, is the battery dead? Maybe the battery's dead, right? And we're trying, we don't have a voltmeter to test this. We don't know what to do, right? So we're seeing if we can get power. One guy said, oh, yeah, maybe it's the spark plugs. Maybe the carburetor's flooded. Maybe this, maybe that. And so we're just trying to get this car started, and it wouldn't start. Finally, the other guy comes back to the house. He's kind of like the foreman or whatever. He comes back, and we're like, we can't get this car started. He's like, what the hell are you guys doing? We can't get the car started. So he opens the door, he gets in the car, he looks at the automatic transmission range selector, right, where you put the car in gear. This is on the steering wheel, you know, the old ones where you have the stalk coming out of the steering wheel where you choose the range or you know, drive or reverse or whatever. Anyway, he comes, he sits in the car, he puts the car in park, turns the key, and it starts. Done. Somebody, again, we're going back to old kind of cars here. I think cars are smarter now, but somebody turned the car off with it still in drive. Now, who would do that? Interesting, right? I mean, you put it in park first. But anyway, here's the moral of the story. Instead of barking up the wrong tree, so to speak, and it's the battery, it's the spark plugs, it's the carburetor, it's old gas, it's, you know, God knows what, it's put the damn car in park, and then it'll run. Now, later years, now we're going to go way into the future, 1988, right? I graduate high school, then I go to Nashville Auto Diesel College. This was going to be my career now. I wanted to get into being a mechanic. And so I went to Nashville Auto Diesel College. Anybody down there in Nashville? I don't know if that school's still running. I think it's changed hands since then. It was owned by this guy named Harold Balls. At the time, we used to call it Balls Tech. Anyway, I went to Balls Tech, and I went through a whole year of training on automotive and diesel technology. And by the way, if you're not interested in those topics, just stick with me because this is a metaphor for life here. So I went to Nashville Auto Diesel College, and I learned about how to be a diagnostician, how to find problems with broken machinery and fix them to specification. I was really good at it. And one of the things they taught us, and it was on every test, every examination for every topic, like, for example, fuel injector pumps on diesel engines, or suspension on cars, or, brake systems and, hydraulics, right? So every test they gave us had one identical question on it. And the question was, and if you got this question wrong, you definitely flunk, okay? And the question was, what is the first step in diagnosis? It was on every test for every topic. And the answer was always, like if you're paying attention, this is a gimme question. You have to get this one right. The answer is always visual inspection. That is always the answer to that question. No matter what we're talking about, what is the first step in diagnosis? Hey, Andrew, I see you, brother. What is the first step in diagnosis? Visual inspection is the correct answer, the only correct answer, and it is the correct answer every single time. So you see how this relates? So here I was, this dumb kid that couldn't get a car started because it was in drive. It should have just been in park. And we blew, I don't know, an hour trying to get this car started, which was never going to start in the condition that it was in. Had I looked, I could have said, oh, somebody turned off this car while it was still in drive. Let's go ahead and put it in park, right? And then later, once I actually became trained in the ways of getting cars to start, I learned what I had not learned prior, which was to just stop and look. Just stop and look before you get into all this, rabbit trails. Now, what the hell am I talking about? How does this relate to life? One of the things that I do, and I don't do this, with the broad public, okay? But one of the things that I do when I'm teaching people about business, like with marketing and online stuff like this, one of the things I say when I start most of my webinars, one of the things I say is, regardless of what your experience has been up to this point, whether you've already done business online before, you've made millions like me, you've never made a penny, you've lost money, you have no idea, you've never even considered entrepreneurship before, you're just wondering, how can I possibly do something a bit more proactive than just, work this job, and die at my desk or whatever. Regardless of what your experience is and what you think you already know, don't know, just look, okay? Because I thought I already knew a lot of stuff. I thought I already knew, because the marketplace changes a lot, and for those who have followed my work, I've had the rug pulled out from under me way too many times from companies that have run themselves into the ground thinking that I knew what this was about or what that was about, or that these people were the right people to work with. I had to just stop and look, and then I can base my decisions on actual data, right? Like, here's some facts. That's a good thing to base decisions on, not assumptions, right? Which I've done way too much of. And in fact, I remember when I first got into business all those years ago, one of the things actually my father taught me, he said, John, first rule of business, assume nothing. Assume nothing. First rule of business. Because I remember I made some comment to him. I said, well, I would assume that. He said, well, assume nothing. Great lesson. So I guess if you get nothing else out of this talk today, but get that, right? And get the idea that you should actually be what we would call a fruit inspector, right? So if you're looking for, what business should I do, or what people should I work with? Well, look at the fruits on the tree. By their fruits you'll know them. You know that phrase? Well, that applies. That's not just some catchy thing that somebody said in the Bible 2,000 years ago. That's for real, right? Look at the fruits on the tree. Look at the data. Look at the track record. You're looking to align yourself with some endeavor that's worth your time. Stop and look, and base decisions on data and fact and observable, phenomena, not just on assumptions or the emotion or the sizzle, the hype, which is everywhere, right? Everywhere you look, there's hype, right? Look under the surface, get some facts, and then make a confident decision based on known quantities, right? And you'll just stop barking up the wrong tree. I've barked up a lot of wrong trees in my time. So the best way for me to make sure I learn nothing is to think I already know. Don't already know, just look, and then you'll know, and then you can base decisions on facts. But you're not gonna have those facts if you don't just stop and look. I hope I've made a point. And somebody's trying to call me right now. Hopefully I'm still live. Elizabeth says that's the same concept for starting a school bus. I won't. Right. It won't let you use the lift if it's in drive. Well, yeah, I would hope not. Right? There's certain interlocks, Anyway, I hope you guys got some value out of this. I'd love to hear your comments, and if you think somebody else could benefit from this message today, feel free to share it with them, and like and subscribe, and yeah, I will. Billy says stop and look. Just called my tech guy because my Wi-Fi speed on my phone was super slow. Billy, I can't see the rest of the comment, but I will definitely check it out as soon as we're done. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me poolside here today. It's a beautiful day in Phoenix. I was just talking to somebody up in Idaho, And they're like, oh, you're down in Phoenix. Oh, the weather's nice down there. I said, yeah, for the next 2 months, and then I'll be up by you. So, yeah, Andrew says, always the visual inspection. That's right. Just look, right? You can save yourself a lot of time. Don't know, look, and then you'll know. So that's it, guys. I'm done. I will see you soon. Oh, and you caught me on a white shirt day, which is extremely rare. The only reason I'm wearing white is because I'm about to make pasta, right? So pasta day is always white shirt day. This way I can see exactly what we had for dinner. Exactly. It shows up beautifully on white. For some reason, the only time I ever have pasta, spaghetti, whatever, is when I'm wearing white. It's just a weird thing, and I almost never wear white. And I almost never gorge myself with carbs. But I shall tonight with Italian sausage and everything else. Thanks again, you guys. Thanks for the love. We'll see you real soon. Make it a great day. Bye for now.